back again at Aerial Bliss Fitness. Welcome. Today's yoga sequence is focused on the third eye, or the Ajna Chakra. It's located in the middle of your forehead, and some sources will say it's dark blue, some say it is indigo, some say purple. We're going to go with purple or violet today for our visualizations. It is responsible for clear sight, however you might think of that. So let's get started. We're going to start today on our backs in constructive rest pose. So let's lie on down, take your feet out to the edges of the mat and let the knees fall inward. Then let's bring the palms of our hands together, fingers spread wide, and bring it to the chest. We're settling in for today's practice, leaving all the cares of the world behind us. Let's take a moment and focus on the location of our third eye chakra. Visualize a glowing purple ball of energy there. If you have difficulty visualizing, as I do, know that just bringing your focus there is working on the chakra. You don't actually have to see it. If you'd like to set a mantra or affirmation for today, a great one to go with our Ajna Chakra is I see clearly. Feel free to use that or any other one that you choose. And then repeat it to yourself several times. From here, let's open up our hands, bring our knees into the chest, give ourselves a big old hug, maybe rock a little side to side. I'm a big fan of giving ourselves a little back massage. All right, from here, let's place our hands on our knees. As we inhale, we're going to open it up. Knees are going to pull away from the chest as far as they can while still holding on. Exhale, we're going to pull our knees into the chest. And repeat, working with your own breath. Let's do 3 more. Alright, let's release our hands from our knees. Let our feet come to the floor about hip width apart. Hands at our sides on the floor, palms down. We're going to go into some flowing bridges. So let's inhale, roll up the spine to around our shoulders. Exhale, roll it back down. Keep moving with your own breath. Let's do one more, see if you can get a little bit higher. And roll it back down. From here, let's extend our legs out. Reach our arms up overhead, be as long as you can, taking a big full body stretch. And from here, we're going to become bananas. So let's take our hands and feet over to the right side of the mat, getting a stretch along the left side of the body. Inhale back to center. And then let's banana to the other side. So take the hands and the feet over to the left. Feel the stretch along the right side of the body. Inhale back to center. Release the arms. Bend the knees. Place the feet flat on the floor. We'll roll onto our side and press our way up to seated. Let's find a comfortable seated position. We're going to take a few moments just to focus in on that third eye chakra some more by bringing the palms of our hands over our eyes and our fingertips crisscross over the middle of our forehead. Just bring your attention and awareness to the area of your third eye. Let's release our hands from our head. We're going to go into some Ujjayi breathing today. So if you've never done this before, we're just going to inhale normally, smoothly through the nose. And then on the exhale, also through the nose, you're going to slightly constrict the back of your throat. And you'll hear this kind of noise in the back of your throat. It's a very small, subtle noise. You'll be able to hear it, and maybe those very close to you could hear it. But it shouldn't be a huge, big, forceful noise. So let's take a few minutes to practice our Ujjayi breathing. You can go back to your regular breathing, or you can continue Ujjayi breathing. That is one of the great things about that pranayama. You can continue it throughout class, and it can help you pace your flows. From here, we're going to go into a seated flow, seated warm-up. It's a little different than what we've done in the previous chakra videos, so follow along. I'm going to inhale. Bring the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Left hand to right knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Right hand to left knee. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Interlace the fingers behind. Inhale, tall. Lift the chest. Press down with the arms. Exhale, release and fold forward. Bring your third eye to the floor. Inhale, back up. Exhale, let's do it again. I'm going to start cueing less and less. We're going to go through this flow 4 more times. Inhale up. exhale, bend. Inhale up, exhale, bend. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Inhale up, exhale, release the arms, interlace the fingers behind. Inhale, press down with the fingers, lift the chest. Exhale, release, fold forward. All right, let's go right into the next one. Inhale, rise up, exhale, bend. Up and bend. Up and twist. Up and twist. Up, release, press down and lift. Exhale, fold forward. All right, we are going to go through it 2 more times. I'm going to stop cueing, but I'll keep doing it if you need a visual reminder. Great job. From here, let's make our way onto our hands and knees. Make sure shoulders are stacked over wrists, hips over knees. Spread those fingers wide. We're going to go into cat-cow. So let's inhale, drop the belly, chest and gaze come forward. Exhale, press into the mat. Really arch the spine, look toward the belly button. Continue with your own breath. We'll do about 8 to 10 rounds of our cat-cow here. When you finish up the one you're on, let's press our hips back to our heels for child's pose. Give the wrist a little break, maybe a few rotations of the wrist. And if you're rotating, let's reverse it. From here, we're going to go into a flow that involves child's pose, tabletop, and downward facing dog. So let's inhale up to tabletop. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Remember, we're still warming up, so bent knees is good. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Keep moving with your own breath. All right, next time you find yourself in downward facing dog, let's pause there. Maybe walk out your dog. Try to be really long from the crown of the head through the tailbone, right? Long spine here. All right, are you ready for some core work? We're gonna inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, round forward. Bring knee to nose. Inhale, press back, lift leg. Exhale, forward, knee to nose. Let's do 3 more. After you finish up your third one, head back to downward facing dog. All right, same thing, other side. 5 of them, here we go. Inhale up, exhale, left knee to nose. Back to downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, let's walk our hands up to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Let's grab opposite elbows and dangle here. Maybe shift your weight a little from side to side. One more breath here. Let's release opposite elbows and roll on up. Once we get up, let's check in with our mountain pose. Let's rock our weight forward and back. And find that place where our weight is evenly distributed between the ball of our foot and our heel. Knees are unlocked. Pelvis is level. Don't pop that booty out. Stand up nice and tall through the spine. Let's bring the palms facing forward so we can open up across the front of the chest. Let's take 3 more breaths here. All right, let's step our right foot back into a warrior 1 so that back foot is pivoted at about a 45-degree angle. Deep bend in the front knee, making sure it is tracking towards the toes. Hips are neutral, facing the top of the mat. Again, check in with that pelvis. Make sure it is level. And let's inhale the arms up for warrior 1. Let's release the arms down. We bring them behind our back, either grabbing opposite elbows or reverse prayer if that is accessible to you. We're going to straighten the front knee, keeping a long spine. We're going to fold forward for a bound pyramid. All right, let's bring the torso back up, bend the front knee again, release the arms, bring them back overhead into warrior 1, and then we're going to send our weight forward and go into a warrior 3. So let's tip forward, we're taking our weight in the front leg, back foot lifts off the ground. If you need to for stability, feel free to do this next to the wall or put your fingertips on the wall. One more breath here. Let's release the arms, bring the foot down to the floor, back into our mountain pose. Great job. Let's try that all on the other side. So let's step the left foot back into our warrior one. Deep bend in the front knee, check in with the hips. Inhale, lift the arms high, gaze is forward. Let's release the arms. We'll take them behind our back, again, holding opposite elbows or reverse prayer. Straighten that front leg. Really engage the quads and fold forward, long spine. Engaging the core, let's bring the torso back up, release the arms, bend in that front knee again. So inhale the arms overhead, and then shift the weight forward, lifting the back foot up, trying to bring it parallel to the floor for our warrior three on this side. Come back to mountain pose. Great job. From here, let's turn and face the long side of the mat. Take the legs wide. See how this feels in your joints. You may want to tilt your feet out a little bit. Work with your joints and what works for you. Let's all bring our hands to our hips. Inhale, nice and tall here. Exhale, we're going to fold halfway so we are parallel to the floor. And then let's release into this pose. Maybe your hands reach the floor. Maybe you're dangling and you choose to grab opposite elbows. Explore a little in this pose. Maybe you like to shift your weight from side to side. See how that affects it for you. And then let's settle in. From here, we're going to revolve it, or we're going to open it up and add a twist. So let's bring the right hand to the floor, halfway in between your feet, right in the center. If you can't reach the floor, you could bend your knees, grab a block, or even just hang here with your hand reaching toward the center. Right? Then we're going to take our left hand, reach up towards the sky, opening up our chest toward the left side of the room. Let's release our left arm back down to the floor. Place it where the right hand was. We're going to reach the right arm up toward the ceiling. Left hand reaching toward the floor or on the floor. Let's release back down. Take a moment. We'll take a few breaths here. Let's bring our hands to the hips. Come back up halfway. 2 breaths here. And then let's rise all the way up. From here, let's heel toe those feet in again. Now we're back in our mountain pose. And now we're going to go into tree. So let's shift all of our weight over to the right. Bring the left foot up as a kickstand. Maybe it stays here. Maybe it travels up the inside of your right leg. Arms of choice. They could be on your hips, heart, overhead, out to the sides. Find your balance. Next exhale, let's release everything back down to the ground with control. Take a moment to reset and to notice how you feel from one side of the body to the other. All right, let's do the other side now. Shift all of our weight over to the left. Right foot comes up as kickstand. Maybe it stays there, maybe it travels. Find what works for you on this side. It may be the same as the first side, or it may be completely different. Try to find a focal point that is not moving to help you balance. And then let's release everything back down to the ground with control. Little wobble's okay. Let's take it up to the top of our mat. Nice and grounded. So interlace the fingers behind the back. We're going to press down, look up slightly. We're just going to do a gentle back bend. Let's come back to neutral, keeping the fingers interlaced. Really active, press down through those arms. We're going to fold forward, keeping the arms interlaced. Let's release our hands, reach down towards the mat, plant your hands, fingers spread wide. Let's step back to our downward facing dog. See if you can find a little more ease in this dog than at the beginning of class. From our downward facing dog, we're going to do a revolved downward facing dog today. So let's take our right hand. We're going to reach over to our left leg, heading toward the ankle if you can get there. Otherwise, anywhere you can reach is fine. We're looking out under that left armpit. Make sure you're not slipping on your mat. All right, let's go back to our downward facing dog. Take a moment to reset. And then let's switch sides. We're going to take that left hand over to the right leg and look under the right armpit. Let's come back to our downward facing dog. We're going to shift our weight forward into a plank. Adjust if you need to. And then we're going to bring it down to a forearm plank. Palms facing down. Let's hold it for 3 breaths. And release it down to the floor. Maybe wiggle side to side. I love to do that whenever I get down here. Ready? We're gonna go back into our forearm plank. Then we're gonna head somewhere from there. So forearm plank, we're gonna press back into dolphin. So similar to downward facing dog, hips go up and back. We're trying to be long through the spine. One more breath. Let's drop the knees and press it back to child's pose. I'm going to opt for a wide leg child's pose here. You do you though. Let's do a thread the needle variation. We're going to take our right hand, flip it palm up, slide it onto the left armpit and come to rest on the left shoulder. The right shoulder. Come to rest on the right shoulder. Left arm can reach forward, or you can bring it under your head if maybe it's not comfortable to bring the right side of your face all the way down to the floor. Let's unwind to reach that right arm long again and switch sides. So we're going to bring our left hand, palm up, slide that arm onto the right armpit till we come on our left shoulder, left side of the face, onto the mat. Again, if you'd like to raise it up, you can bring this right hand under your face. Let's reach that left arm out in front again. Bring our forehead to the mat. Let's rock it side to side, kind of massaging the forehead. And then come to rest. We'll walk our hands in toward the body. Bring the knees together. We're going to come up into a kneeling position. Let's bring the hands to the low back. We're going to go into camel with a variation where we tilt the head back. So hands at low back, think tall, and then arch back. Looking backward, don't just let your neck fall. Make sure the muscles are engaged and you're actively looking forward. You can release your hands from your back and reach down to your ankles. If that is accessible to you, try to keep your hips forward though. All right, let's tuck our chin to chest, bring our torso upright, sit back onto the heels in thunderbolts. From here, we are going to head into rabbit pose. So let's fold forward. We're going to reach back towards our heels or ankles, forehead on the floor. And then from here, let's lift the hips and roll up onto the crown of the head. So we're getting a little inversion, putting some pressure on our head, but keeping it safe because our weight is supported on our knees. All right, let's roll back, take our hips to the heels again. Take a moment, just notice how this feels. Did rabbit pose bring up any sensations in your scalp maybe? Tingling, heat, maybe coolness? All right, let's try it one more time. Lift the hips, roll up onto the crown of the head. Alright, let's roll back down. And we'll come back up, seated into our thunderbolts. And here we're going to do some lion pose, or at least the face of lion pose in thunderbolts. So let's bring our hands to our knees. We're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and stick out the tongue. All right, let's try that 3 more times. Great job. Hopefully that brought a smile to your face. It always brings a smile to mine. From here, let's sit to one side and sweep the legs around. Check it out in Dandasana. Sitting up nice and tall, legs are active, feet are flexed. Let's bring our hands onto the floor so we're getting a little wrist stretch. All right, let's release that. We're gonna go into fire log pose. I'm gonna turn so you can see this better. You don't need to. I'm going to bring one leg, let's start with the right, just to be consistent. My right shin parallel to the front edge of my mat, with my foot flexed. My left ankle is going to sit on my right knee, and hypothetically, my left knee will sit on my right ankle. All right, so we're here. If this is super uncomfortable, feel free to straighten the bottom leg and just do kind of a figure 4 stretch. You can also, if you have blocks or blankets handy, put them in these spaces to create a little more ease in this pose. Let's hold it for 4 more breaths. All right, we're going to turn this into cow face pose. So to do that, I'm going to bring my top ankle, so my left ankle, over to my right hip, and my right ankle to my left hip, trying to get my knees stacked in front. All right, so maybe we just stay there. Maybe you choose to add the arms. If we're going to add the arms, let's reach the left arm up and give yourself a pat on the back. Right arm, gonna place my palm away, bend at the elbow, come up the back, and my fingers meet. If your fingers don't meet, don't worry. You can grab a strap, or if none is handy, you can just do this stretch, kind of like back in gym class. Let's release the arms from whatever position they are in. And then sit to the right, straighten out that right leg, straighten out the left leg. Let's maybe shake them out a little. And we'll switch sides. So let's bring the left leg parallel to the front edge of your mat, foot flexed, right foot, right ankle comes on top of that left knee. And maybe your right knee makes it down to the left ankle, and maybe not. All right, let's sit here for 4 breaths. All right, and again, we're going to turn this into cow face. So let's bring that right ankle over to the left hip. Left ankle scooches over to the right hip. Knees are trying to stack. If they don't, that's okay. If this is really uncomfortable, try straightening the bottom leg again. Then let's add the arms. So let's bring the right arm up towards the ceiling and then give ourselves a pat on the back. Left arm reaches, palm faces away and bends at the elbow, comes up the back. Fingers may meet. If not, take one of the variations given on the first side. One more breath. Let's release the arms. Shift to the left, straighten out that left leg, straighten out the right leg, maybe shake them out. Let's make sure we're facing the short edge of our mat for boat pose. So let's all sit nice and tall, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Let's hold on behind the thighs. We're going to tip back, toes take off. Maybe they lift up, so shins are parallel to the floor. Maybe you choose to let go, and maybe you straighten. Whatever you do, make sure to keep the spine long, core really engaged. 2 more big breaths. Let's grab on behind our thighs. Tip forward, dock our boats. We're going to bring our hands onto the floor behind us. Palm fingers facing us. Let's bring our feet about hip width apart if they are not already. We'll inhale, lift the hips into a reverse tabletop. So try to be nice and flat here. And try to get set up so that your shoulders end up over your wrists, knees over ankles. 2 breaths. And let's relax it back down. Let's take a brief break. And we're going to go up one more time. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower it back down. Let's cross our legs into a nice easy seated position. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back. We're going to go into a bowing mudra. So let's press down with those arms again. We're going to fold forward, bringing the forehead toward the floor. 2 more breaths. Let's come on up. Take a moment. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale tall. Exhale fold. Inhale, come back up. And today we're going to work on lotus pose. We're going to start by doing half lotuses. So, to do half lotus, let's start with our right foot. I'm going to bring my right foot up to my left hip crease, and my left foot's just going to stay down there where it was in its easy seat. If this puts a lot of stress on your knee, come on out, just go back to an easy seated pose and practice your Ujjayi breathing. All right, let's take our right foot down and let's try it on the other side. So let's bring our left foot into our right hip crease. Notice how it feels. It may be the same as the other side or maybe very, very different. Always listen to your body. If you're having knee pain here, come on out. It's not worth risking a knee injury. All right, let's undo that one. Take a moment. If both of those were really easy for you, let's try a full lotus. If they were not, just hang out in your easy seated. Practice some Ujjayi breathing, and we'll all get back together soon. So if we're going to try lotus, let's start with our right foot to the left hip crease, and then we're going to take our left foot up and over to the right hip crease. If you get here and you realize this is too much stress on your knees, go back to your half lotus that you could do earlier. One more breath here. Let's come on out. Left foot, right foot. All right. And of course, because we like to be even, let's try it on the other side as well. So we'll start with left foot up to the right hip crease. And then the right foot's going to come over the top to the left hip crease. Again, take note, one side may be vastly different from the other. Listen to your body. Don't push it to get into this pose. Okay, let's unwind. Everybody take a moment in just an easy seated position. I'll take 3 cleansing breaths. All right, let's make our way into Shavasana. Whatever Shavasana you would like to take today, whether you want to lay down in a traditional corpse pose, or maybe you want to try something different, like legs up the wall, child's pose, or even just an easy seated pose. So whatever position you're going to take for Shavasana today, see if you can make yourself just 10% more comfortable. Letting the tension melt away from your body. If you're lying on your back, maybe walking the shoulder blades down. All right, and then let's bring our attention to our third eye chakra, to our Ajna chakra. Notice if it has a color. Do you see the violet? Notice its shade, its size, its intensity. Does it have a texture? Is it fluffy or smooth? Notice any other characteristics it may have. A smell, a taste, a sound. Maybe there's just a feeling. Maybe you feel a sense of calm and peace. If you chose an affirmation at the beginning of class, repeat it to yourself 3 times. going to settle into a few minutes of silent shavasana. Thoughts may wander into your head as they're prone to do. Try to just let them pass. And if you cannot let them pass, bring your focus back to your third eye chakra or to your breathing. I invite you to make your next breath a little deeper and let it out with a big sigh. Alright, let's bring some movement back to the body. Maybe wiggle the fingers and toes. Extend that movement upward to include wrists and ankles. Take any movement your body is calling for here, whether it's to curl up in a little ball or maybe reach tall overhead. And then if you're on your back, whenever you're ready, let's bend our knees and place the feet flat on the floor. Take a few breaths here. Then let's roll onto one side. Take a pause. And then when you're ready, press your way very slowly back up to an easy seated position. From here, let's take our hands out to the sides, palms up. Let's scoop up all of our positivity and clear sight we generated today. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Exhale, bring it down to your third eye chakra. All right, let's try it one more time. Into the third eye chakra. All right, thank you so much for practicing with me today. It was a pleasure having you. Go out in this world with clear sight and see people and situations as they really are. Be well. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.